Hey guys, welcome back. Today, as you can probably tell, we are going to be talking about a Disney movie. And I'm super excited. I think this is the first Disney review I've done on the channel, which is very exciting. Because my whole family, we are huge Disney nerds, love Disney, everything that they do, almost everything that they do. There's some. But today we're going to be starting off with one of the what I think is the best Disney live action, and I'm not talking about like the live action remakes of the animated movies. I'm talking about a true live action which actually gives a lot of good depth to the Disney phenomenon overall. Saving Mr. Banks. Saving Mr. Banks stars Emma Thompson and Tom Hanks as P.L. Travers, who wrote the Mary Poppins book, and Walt Disney, respectively, and their struggle over Walt Disney wanting to get the rights to Mary Poppins to make a movie, and P.L. Travers' apprehension because she thinks that Walt Disney's going to make it goofy and just another one of his, animated movies with a bunch of cartoons and gags and just another brick in his pyramid that is the Disney phenomenon. And it gives a lot of great depth to their relationship and their interactions, what they get from each other. This is just I watched this on Netflix again a couple days ago, and this is just a wonderful movie. It's got the magic, it's got depth. I mean, it's got everything. But let's go into that a little bit. So not only does it star those two, but it actually also stars Colin Farrell as P.L. Travers' father, because the movie flip flops back and forth between present day with trying to work out this deal and the past with her family and seeing how she grew up and why she is the way she is. Because P.L. Travers, which is a pen name, is very uptight. I mean, she is super strict with people. She is very closed off. She wants what she wants, and there is no other road. And it's this back and forth, this little I'll give and take with, I'll give you the music in the movies, but I don't want cartoons. And okay, well, I'll give you the music, but I don't want the color red in the movie. I mean, there are some really uptight and just almost insane requests that she has for this movie before she signs over the rights. And it's about her basically observing what they're doing with everything and approving every single step along the way, while Walt is trying not to lose his marbles, giving into all of her demands. But you see why she is the way she is in her past. And Colin Farrell plays her dad, who he has a lot of problems. He's an alcoholic. He's sick. He fills her mind with all these wondrous imaginations to try to distract her from real life, which is what he is afraid of, and what he is struggling with is a lot of his problems, and he tries not to let her get in on all of those. He gets fired a lot, he has all these issues, and she is kind of scarred by this because, she was a little kid and she's learning all these things, especially after having built up such a role model in her mind. And seeing that kind of scarred her a little bit. And she kind of feels like, she's let him down. And so you start to see a little bit of, what it is about these books that she's attached to so much and why she doesn't want to give it up. And Walt doesn't completely see that at first, and it's this sort of discovery along the way of what it is that she doesn't want ruined or tarnished. She's very close to these books. It's her life. And just that slow discovery is so compelling to watch and so heartbreaking too. Now, Emma Thompson plays a wonderfully P.L. Travers, and just the little moments she has where she's herself, P.L. Travers, in her true form of being kind of uptight, but these little moments where she starts to break down the walls a little bit. She dances or she takes a stuffed animal, whatever it might be. Those are really great moments. And Walt, Tom Hanks playing Walt, is immaculate. I mean, I love Tom Hanks. You can't not love Tom Hanks. He's just amazing. He's wonderful. He plays up the magic, but also the energy and the kind of almost annoyance that Walt had of like, I want to do this, I want to do this. And the one thing I am wondering whether they should have put in is that Walt apparently was a little bit of a tyrant. I'm glad they probably didn't put it in, but it also doesn't seem to be as true. You can see a little bit of it with his constant determination and pushing, but overall, he plays Walt, with all the magic and all of the energy and all of that wonder and insight and inspiration. Um, and I almost wonder. I can't remember, but I think Tom Hanks has actual ties to Walt Disney, which you can kind of see it. But I would say that the person who steals the spotlight the most, at least for me, my favorite character, he chews up every scene, is Paul Giamatti of all people. He plays Ralph, the limo driver for P.L. Travers, and he is just the sweetest man on earth. And he has all these little backstories and everything, and I won't say what it is, but there's one moment at the end that I don't cry a whole lot at movies. I really don't. But between him and this other shot towards the end of the movie, it gets me every time. I am this close to crying every time. He really chews it up, and it's great. B.J. Novak and Jason Schwartzman are also in this movie, playing the Sherman Brothers, and seeing all of the songs come to light, and how they're making them, and each scene with them, and how they're reflecting the tone of the movie was so great. Bradley Whitford is also in this from Get Out and Parks and Rec, and he also all three of them kind of play sort of a comic relief as well. You can see kind of the gauge of where P.L. Travers is at the moment in terms of how accepting she is of all of what's happening, but they also play sort of comic relief, just in terms of their banter and everything. So all of the characters in this movie are just wonderful. They're great, and all the actors are very, very well done, and it really plays to the wonder of Disney. There's a scene where they go to Disneyland. It's just, if you love Disney, this is just literally being able to have fun with it and experience Disney in an hour and 55-minute movie. I will say my favorite parts are more the present rather than the past, but the past adds a lot of layers and depth to what is going on later. The thing about this movie is that it's because of those struggles that the dad has, and actually the mother too. This is an actually dark movie for Disney. Disney's always been very dark, but hides it very well. With this, has some pretty. It's rated PG-13 for a movie that's about Mary Poppins and Disney World. It's rated PG-13 because it has some dark moments of drinking and depression and even like a suicide attempt. Not kidding. So it's very dark. So if you're gonna have your kids watch it, you go into it knowing that it's not really blatant, but it's there. And I think that's obviously very necessary to understand why P.L. Travers is the way that she is. So overall, this movie is very great. I really love it. If I have one critique with it, or I guess two critiques, it's that the pacing can be it's pretty good, but it gets to be a little repetitive at times, where she has a problem, they fix it, she has a problem, they fix it, we get a little bit of a deeper insight, and I like how we get more of an insight with each single time. It's great. There's something different about every single of these routines, but after a while it's almost like, well, okay, I thought we'd fix this, and then you get to the kind of all is lost moment. But other than that, my only critique is really, really small. There's this one moment where Colin Farrell, he's kind of losing it, and P.L. Travers, as a child, she his name for her is Ginty. She sees through the window that he's like drinking and crying. It was a little cheesy for me. It was a little overacted. He like goes to the window, he like takes it, and he's like with the cork, and he like drinks the whole bottle, and he starts to like bawl. And while it's a really sad moment, it was a little overacted for me. Other than that, it's as good as you can expect out of a Disney movie. Being not only super magical, but also hitting these deep moments that again aren't really blatant. People who've seen like Game of Thrones will be like, oh, that's nothing, but like it's a Disney movie for kids. Overall, it is a wonderful movie. It plays on everybody's hearts and nostalgia of Disney. And the one thing I will say about the Mary Poppins sequels and spin-offs is that they do a really good job of giving you all these little things we loved about the original series without tarnishing anything, without messing with canon, without messing with characters. It just gives you little things that you can get excited about, but also have it be its own movie, the standalone. This and Mary Poppins Returns, same thing. So that's what I really love about these, is that they do them very tastefully. So overall, I'm going to give Saving Mr. Banks a 3.5 out of 4. Please go watch this. It's a fun movie. If you really love Disney, stuck in quarantine, watch this. It's going to give you a lot of hope, a lot of magic, a lot of inspiration, and just a lot of, childhood wonder. So as always, keep your hopes high, stress low, and movies right in the middle, and I'll see you guys later.